cameras captured abilities and physical traits that seem impossible for the human body. Some call them miracles. Others say science can't explain them, yet. What's certain is that these people are unlike anything you've seen before. Join us and let's witness the most unbelievable human bodies ever recorded in Africa. Let's go.
Number 11. The Raramuri people, runners who never stop. Deep in the canyons of Chihuahua State in northern Mexico lives the Raramuri people, also known as the Tarahumara, famous for their superhuman ability to run long distances. Their homeland, the Sierra Tarahumara, or Copper Canyon, is filled with rough, rocky trails, a place that made foot travel an essential part of their daily life. Their name, which usually translates to "those who run on their feet," perfectly reflects their lifestyle. Stories about them covering enormous distances always seemed mythical, but field studies prove they run between 60 to 300 kilometers in a single race. Some even carried weights reaching 50 kilograms for 180 kilometers over just a few days, using simple nutrition like pinole drink made from corn and water. Running is part of their daily existence, whether visiting relatives, trading, or attending ceremonies. They also engage in traditional long games like Rarajipati and Adihueta that last for hours. Their physical performance is astonishing. They maintain a steady pace for long distances, with elevated but safe heart rates, and their bodies recover balance quickly after severe exhaustion. Their diet is simple and low-fat, based on corn, beans, and vegetables, reducing heart disease. Even their feet reflect unique adaptation. Runners often wear flat huarache sandals, which stimulate forefoot landing and reduce knee impact. Genetic studies show strong tendons and supportive muscle tissues that give them a mechanical advantage during long runs. The Raramuri don't train like Western marathon runners. They don't follow periodization schedules or carb loading protocols. Instead, running weaves through everything they do. A typical day might involve running to a distant field, working there for hours, then running back home carrying crops. Children start young, chasing balls in the traditional games that last 48 hours straight. The games aren't just sport, but social glue, bringing communities together and passing down techniques through generations. Older runners teach younger ones how to breathe, how to pace, when to push, and when to conserve energy. The knowledge transfers through experience rather than textbooks.
Number 10. The Kalenjin people, Kenya's running dynasty. In the Rift Valley of Kenya lives the Kalenjin people, a group that produces distance runners at rates that defy statistical probability. Despite representing a tiny faction of the world's population, Kalenjin athletes dominate international marathons and long-distance events. Olympic podiums regularly feature multiple Kalenjin runners, and world records fall to their athletes with surprising frequency. Scientists and coaches worldwide study them, trying to unlock the secret of their running supremacy. The advantages start with physiology. Kalenjin runners typically have long, thin legs with minimal muscle mass below the knee. This creates biomechanical efficiency, as less energy is needed to swing the lower leg forward with each stride. Their Achilles tendons are unusually long and elastic, storing and releasing energy like springs with each foot strike. Calf muscles attach lower on the leg than average, creating longer lever arms that improve mechanical advantage during push-off. But anatomy alone doesn't explain their success. The Rift Valley sits at high altitude, around 2,400 meters above sea level. Children grow up in thin air, developing enhanced oxygen processing capacity similar to Sherpa people. Their bodies produce red blood cells efficiently and use oxygen economically. When they travel to sea-level competitions, they arrive with extra cardiovascular capacity that gives them edges over competitors from lower elevations. Cultural factors matter enormously too. Running represents one of few paths to wealth and fame in rural Kenya. Young athletes train with incredible dedication, knowing success means lifting entire families from poverty. Training groups form in villages, with dozens of hopefuls running together twice daily, covering massive distances on dirt roads and trails. Competition is fierce, pushing everyone to improve. Coaches scout villages constantly, looking for talent.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you a naturally curious person? If you're watching, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. This space is made for people like us. To ensure you're always part of this community and receive all our latest discoveries, you just need to do one thing: subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us. Okay, now that you're part of our Legion of the Curious, let's move on to the next item.
Number 9. The Tsimane people. Clean arteries that defy modern medicine. Deep in the Bolivian Amazon rainforest lives the Tsimane people in scattered villages along riverbanks, far from cars and gyms. Despite their simple lives, doctors discovered their arteries are among the healthiest ever recorded. A study of over 700 adults found 8 out of 10 showed zero calcium deposits in heart arteries. Even elderly people in their 70s and 80s had muscly clean scans, completely contradicting what doctors see in Western city dwellers. The secret lies in their lifestyle. They move constantly, not as formal exercise, but as part of daily existence. Men walk long hours hunting and cutting trees, while women work fields and carry firewood and water. Many log between 15,000 to 17,000 steps daily. Their food is simple and natural, relying on crops like cassava, bananas, and corn, plus fish and wild game, with little sugar or processed foods. This maintains low blood pressure and prevents obesity and heart disease. What's striking is this healthy pattern appears despite constant exposure to infections and chronic inflammation that usually connect to artery blockages in Western societies. But among the Tsimane, arteries stay open and smooth. Even the brain benefits positively, as scans show brain shrinkage with aging happens 70% slower compared to Western groups, with very low dementia rates. This reflects a lifestyle harmonized between movement, diet, and natural environment. Researchers initially couldn't believe the results. They ran tests multiple times, thinking equipment malfunctioned. How could people with frequent parasitic infections have cleaner arteries than health-conscious Americans who take statins and exercise regularly? The answer challenges fundamental assumptions about inflammation and heart disease. Western medicine assumes inflammation damages arteries, but Tsimane bodies handle inflammation differently. Their immune systems stay active fighting real threats without creating the chronic low-grade inflammation that plagues modern populations.
Number 8. The Hadza people, hunter-gatherers with iron health. In northern Tanzania lives the Hadza people, one of the last populations still practicing traditional hunting and gathering. Their day starts at dawn with walking, tracking, digging, climbing, and hunting, continuing until afternoon. Each person covers between 6 to 11 kilometers daily across rocky and thorny terrain, while their body burns roughly the same calories as someone in Western cities, despite constant activity. Their health is remarkable. Obesity is extremely rare, blood pressure stays low, and heart disease and diabetes are uncommon even among elders. This partly comes from their natural diet. Men hunt wild animals and collect honey, while women dig the earth searching for tubers and harvest baobab fruits and berries. Hunting, especially honey hunting, is a real adventure. Men follow honey-guide birds and climb giant trees surrounded by bees, using only smoke to collect honey without ropes or protective equipment, relying on superhuman physical skills and high risks. The honey provides concentrated calories, but getting it demands courage and coordination that few outsiders could match. The Hadza gut also holds surprises. Their bacterial mix is rich and variable according to seasons. Certain species appear during dry season and disappear in rainy season, then return the following year, reflecting unique synchronization between their bodies, lifestyle, and surrounding environment. This delicate balance between movement, food, and gut nature shows how their bodies evolved to support their intensive and challenge-filled lifestyle. Western guts contain different bacterial populations, shaped by processed foods and antibiotics.
Number 7. The Ama divers, Japan's breath-holding grandmothers of the sea. Off the coasts of Japan, there's something absolutely wild happening underwater. Women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s dive into freezing ocean waters without wetsuits, holding their breath for over 2 minutes while collecting shellfish and seaweed from the seafloor. They're called Ama, which literally means sea women, and they've been doing this for over 2,000 years. No tanks, no modern gear, just a traditional white cotton outfit and a whole lot of guts. These women start diving as teenagers and keep going until their bodies literally can't anymore. Some Ama in their 70s still make 60 dives a day, dropping down 10 to 25 meters in water that hovers around 10 degrees Celsius. Their technique is insane. They hyperventilate before diving, filling their lungs completely, then drop like stones to the bottom. Down there, they pry abalone and sea urchins off rocks with a small blade, stuff them in a net bag, then shoot back to the surface,
The whole cycle takes about a minute, and they repeat it dozens of times every single day. What makes their bodies different isn't some genetic lottery win. It's decades of training that literally reshapes their physiology. Their spleens grow larger over years of diving, just like the Bajau people. The cold exposure triggers their bodies to produce more brown fat around vital organs, generating heat without shivering. Their blood vessels respond to cold differently too, maintaining flow to fingers and toes when most people would lose feeling within minutes. The adaptation is so complete that Ama can work in conditions that would send regular people into hypothermic shock. The really crazy part is the sound they make. When Ama surface after a dive, they exhale with this distinct whistle called isobue. It's not just for show. The technique helps them recover faster by controlling their breathing pattern and preventing shallow water blackout. Locals can identify individual Ama divers just by hearing their whistle from shore. Each woman develops a slightly different sound over decades of diving.
Number 6. The Maasai warriors, Africa's fearless lion hunters. In the grasslands of Kenya and Tanzania, the Maasai people have built a culture around cattle herding and warrior traditions that produce some of the most physically impressive humans on the planet. Maasai men, especially the younger warriors called Marani, go through training that makes military boot camps look soft. Their physical abilities and fearlessness around dangerous wildlife have made them legendary across East Africa. Traditional Maasai diet is wild, mostly milk, meat, and cow blood, mixed fresh and drunk warm. They literally make a small cut in a cow's neck, collect blood in a gourd, seal the wound, and the cow walks away fine. Mixed with milk, it creates a protein-rich drink that fuels their incredibly lean, muscular builds. Carbohydrates? Barely any. Vegetables? Optional. Yet Maasai men tower over 6 feet tall commonly, with body fat percentages athletes would envy. The warrior training starts young. Boys learn to throw spears accurately from hundreds of feet away. They practice jumping straight up from a standing position, a display called a dumu, where warriors compete to see who can jump highest. Some clear over a meter vertically, repeatedly, without any running start. Their leg muscles develop explosive power from thousands of jumps over years. The vertical leap ability rivals professional basketball players. But the really insane part is lion hunting. Traditionally, young warriors proved themselves by hunting lions with nothing but spears and shields. A group of Marani would track a lion, then literally walk toward it in formation until the lion charged. They'd stand their ground, working together to kill it with spears. One mistake meant death. The bravery required is hard to comprehend. Even though lion hunting is now illegal, the warrior mentality persists. Maasai vision is ridiculously good. They can spot animals on distant hillsides that others can't see even with binoculars. Part of this comes from a lifetime scanning horizons for livestock and predators. Their eyes adapt to tracking movement across vast distances under harsh sun. Studies suggest their visual acuity exceeds average significantly, possibly from both genetic factors and environmental training from childhood.
Number 5. The Mongolian eagle hunters, bonded with predators most people fear. High in the Altai mountains of Mongolia and Kazakhstan, hunters work with golden eagles to catch foxes and wolves. Not trained eagles from fancy falconry schools, wild eagles they capture, train, and form bonds with that seem straight out of fantasy novels. These eagles have wingspans over 2 meters and talons that can crush bones, yet hunters trust them completely, carrying 15-pound birds on their arms for hours while riding horses across mountain slopes. The tradition goes back over 2,000 years. Hunters climb cliffs to capture young eagles from nests, then spend months building relationships. The training is intense. Eagles learn to respond to calls, hunt specific prey, and return to their handler instead of flying off to freedom. The bond becomes so strong that eagles wait patiently on the hunter's arm in freezing weather, then explode into action when prey appears, taking down animals their own size or bigger. What makes this superhuman is the physical and mental demands. Carrying a golden eagle on your arm for hours requires serious strength and endurance. The birds weigh around 7 kilograms, and you're holding that weight extended while riding a horse across rough terrain. One wrong move and those talons shred your arm. Hunters develop incredible steadiness and arm strength that bodybuilders would struggle to match. They can read eagle body language instantly,
knowing when the bird is agitated or ready to hunt.
Number 4. The Bajau people, sea nomads with enlarged spleens. Picture a village overlooking the sea directly, where children jump into the depths like it's part of their daily routine. This is the world of the Bajau people, sea nomads who've lived along the coasts of Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines for generations. In the past, they spent their lives on boats called lepa, cooking, sleeping, and raising children above water. Even today, many depend on diving to catch fish and shellfish, using wooden goggles and handmade spears. Bajau divers spend hours in the water, repeating dives many times daily, reaching depths exceeding 21 meters and staying underwater for several minutes. Most humans can hold their breath for only 1 or 2 minutes. What distinguishes them isn't just training, but unique physical adaptation. Studies revealed their spleen size is 1.5 times larger compared to farmers, giving them extra oxygen storage. Certain genes enhanced by natural selection grant them better ability to dive for extended periods. Bajau generations grow up surrounded by the sea from early childhood. They learn to swim as they learn to walk, and their lungs and muscles grow accustomed to pressure and expansion, while their minds learn to control calm during moments of oxygen deprivation. This mix of intense training and genetic wealth makes their abilities nearly superhuman. The spleen acts like a biological scuba tank, releasing oxygen-rich red blood cells when the body needs them most. During deep dives, the spleen contracts, squeezing stored blood cells into circulation and extending underwater time significantly. Their cardiovascular systems show remarkable efficiency too. Heart rates drop dramatically during dives, a reflex called bradycardia that conserves oxygen by redirecting blood flow to vital organs. Blood vessels in their extremities constrict, prioritizing the brain and heart over fingers and toes. This diving response exists in all humans, but reaches exceptional levels in the Bajau. Their bodies enter this state faster and maintain it longer than populations without diving traditions. But this lifestyle faces major challenges today. Governments try moving them to land, and overfishing plus diving restrictions cut their income sources, threatening the extinction of their unique maritime traditions. Younger generations spend less time in the water, learning modern jobs instead of ancient techniques. Within one generation, these extraordinary adaptations could fade as the selective pressure that created them disappears.
Number 3. The Sherpa people, high-altitude superhumans of the Himalayas. At the peaks of the Himalayas, where air is dangerously thin, lives the Sherpa people with an ability to breathe and move at altitudes exceeding 4,000 meters. Regular visitors suffer dizziness and headaches after just minutes. The Sherpa grew up in this environment and work as guides and porters on Mount Everest expeditions, carrying tents, fixing ropes, and cutting paths through snow and ice. Some reached the summit multiple times, while climbing once represents a lifetime dream for most humans. The ordinary body tries adapting to oxygen shortage by increasing blood density, which strains the heart and can lead to dangerous complications. But Sherpa blood maintains smooth flow despite altitude, transporting oxygen efficiently without exhausting the heart. This happens through larger plasma volume and exceptional efficiency in lungs and blood vessels, where oxygen transfers rapidly to tissues and nitric oxide release increases to widen vessels. Even the mitochondria in their cells work with high efficiency, consuming oxygen economically and producing fewer harmful byproducts. These abilities let them walk for long hours and carry heavy weights without excessive fatigue. The unique capacities link to their genes, especially the EPAS1 gene, responsible for sensing oxygen levels. This evolved over generations through natural selection, making Sherpa ideally adapted to Earth's highest peaks. Their bodies don't panic when oxygen drops. Instead of flooding the bloodstream with extra red blood cells like lowlanders do, they maintain optimal counts that balance oxygen delivery with blood flow efficiency. Sherpa women give birth at altitudes where most people struggle to walk. Their babies enter the world already adapted, with cardiovascular systems primed for thin air. Studies show Sherpa infants have different hemoglobin levels at birth compared to lowland babies, suggesting adaptation begins in the womb. Mothers produce more nitric oxide during pregnancy, ensuring adequate blood flow to developing fetuses despite reduced oxygen availability.
Number 2. The Nenets, reindeer herders who thrive at -50 degrees. Way up in the Siberian Arctic, where winter temperatures hit -50 degrees Celsius and darkness lasts for months, the Nenets people herd reindeer across frozen tundra like it's a walk in the park. We're talking about conditions so extreme that exposed skin freezes in under a minute, yet Nenets families live in portable tents called chums, following reindeer herds that migrate up to 1,000 kilometers annually. They've been doing this for over 1,000 years. Their cold adaptation makes the Inuit look like beginners. Nenets children play outside in temperatures that would kill most humans in hours. They wear traditional clothing made entirely from reindeer hide, layered in a way that creates insulating air pockets while letting moisture escape. The design is so effective that Soviet scientists studied it, trying to improve military cold weather gear. Turns out, nature figured it out first. The Nenets' metabolism runs hot, literally. Their bodies generate more heat at rest than populations from warmer climates. Brown fat deposits are more active, burning calories continuously to maintain core temperature. Their blood circulation prioritizes keeping extremities warm, with specialized arterial arrangements in hands and feet that prevent frostbite. When exposed to cold, their blood vessels don't constrict as dramatically as ours would, maintaining flow to fingers and toes even in brutal conditions. Reindeer aren't just livestock to the Nenets, they're everything. Food, clothing, transportation, shelter materials, tools. A family's wealth is measured in reindeer. Traditional diet is almost entirely reindeer-based. Raw, frozen meat, blood, organs, bone marrow. They eat the contents of reindeer stomachs, partially digested lichen, that provides vitamins impossible to get otherwise in Arctic environments. Modern nutritionists would freak out, but Nenets have zero scurvy despite eating almost no fruits or vegetables.
Number 2. The Nenets, reindeer herders who thrive at -50 degrees. Way up in the Siberian Arctic, where winter temperatures hit -50 degrees Celsius and darkness lasts for months, the Nenets people herd reindeer across frozen tundra like it's a walk in the park. We're talking about conditions so extreme that exposed skin freezes in under a minute, yet Nenets families live in portable tents called chums, following reindeer herds that migrate up to 1,000 kilometers annually. They've been doing this for over 1,000 years. Their cold adaptation makes the Inuit look like beginners. Nenets children play outside in temperatures that would kill most humans in hours. They wear traditional clothing made entirely from reindeer hide, layered in a way that creates insulating air pockets while letting moisture escape. The design is so effective that Soviet scientists studied it, trying to improve military cold weather gear. Turns out, nature figured it out first. The Nenets' metabolism runs hot, literally. Their bodies generate more heat at rest than populations from warmer climates. Brown fat deposits are more active, burning calories continuously to maintain core temperature. Their blood circulation prioritizes keeping extremities warm, with specialized arterial arrangements in hands and feet that prevent frostbite. When exposed to cold, their blood vessels don't constrict as dramatically as ours would, maintaining flow to fingers and toes even in brutal conditions. Reindeer aren't just livestock to the Nenets, they're everything. Food, clothing, transportation, shelter materials, tools. A family's wealth is measured in reindeer. Traditional diet is almost entirely reindeer-based. Raw, frozen meat, blood, organs, bone marrow. They eat the contents of reindeer stomachs, partially digested lichen, that provides vitamins impossible to get otherwise in Arctic environments. Modern nutritionists would freak out, but Nenets have zero scurvy despite eating almost no fruits or vegetables.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.